She was the face you trusted at 9 p.m., the anchor who told Kenya what was happening in the world. But then, in one chilling twist, the news became her. From a celebrated journalist to a murder suspect, Jackie Maribe'S life turned from headlines into a headline. Long before the flashing lights of Citizen TV studio, Jacqueline Wanjiru Maribe, better known to millions as Jackie Maribe, dreamed of storytelling. Born in 1984 in Nairobi, she carried the aura of bold speaker from a young age. She attended State House Girls High School, where classmates remembered her as a vibrant, outspoken, and unafraid of a crowd. Remember, she joined the University of Nairobi studying political science, a discipline that will sharpen her understanding of governance and leadership. But it wasn't politics she was destined for, it was the screen. Jackie broke into television through K24, where she cut her teeth reporting on human interest stories. Soon after, she moved to Kiss TV, sharpening her presence and confidence in front of the camera. Yet her big break came at Citizen TV under the Royal Media Services empire. Here, Jackie didn't just report stories, she lived them. She was fearless, covering high-risk political campaigns, interviewing top leaders, and becoming a fixture in Kenya's living rooms. By 2013, during the 10th election season, she was seen reporting alongside the Jubilee campaign team. She rode in campaign choppers, stood next to country's most powerful men, and reported directly from State House. Few journalists had that access. Jackie Maribe did. And in 2017, recognition came in form of Head of State commendation, a rare honor for a journalist. Jackie had officially risen from a young dreamer to a celebrated primetime anchor. But fame has a way of blurring lines between personal and professional, between private and public, and for Jackie, the very world she reported on soon came crashing into her personal life. It was the evening of September 19, 2018. News broke of a gruesome murder in Kilimani, Nairobi. Monica Kimani, a young businesswoman, had been found dead in her apartment. Her throat slit, her body left in a bathtub, her life cut short in a horrifying manner. Kenya was shaken. Who could have done such a thing? The investigation soon pointed to a man named Joseph Joey Irungu, a security operative known in Nairobi's social circles. But Joey was not just any man, he was Jackie Maribe's fiancé. Within hours, Jackie's name began to appear in connection with the murder investigation. She, the face of trust, the anchor who had just read the news of Monica's murder on TV, now found herself questioned by detectives. The story was sure real. One night, she was on screen telling the nation what had happened. The next, her own house in Royal Park Estate was being combed for evidence. A blood-stained jacket was discovered believed to be Joey's. Jackie told police that Joey had been shot during a robbery at their house, but investigators grew suspicious. The timeline, the evidence, the alibis, something didn't add up. And then came the moment that shocked Kenya. Jackie Maribe was arrested, charged, and presented in court, not as a journalist, but as a murder suspect. The transformation was brutal. From high-heeled newsroom to cold walls of Langata Women's Prison, Jackie Maribe spent 18 days in remand. In her words, the hardest part was not the prison food, not the loss of glamour, but being away from her young son, Zahari. She called him her miracle child. She would later say, "Every night I cried for him." Kenyans debated fiercely, was Jackie guilty by association, or was she unfairly dragged into a crime because of who she loved? Meanwhile, her colleagues at Citizen TV kept reporting the story. The same station that once celebrated her now showed her in handcuffs. Friends like Dennis Itumbi rallied to her defense, declaring her innocence publicly. But the justice system will take years to decide her fate. The trial of Monica Kimani's murder became one of the most closely watched in Kenyan history. Prosecutors argued that Joey and Jackie worked together. They painted a picture of deception, of a fiancé who committed murder and a partner who helped cover it up. The evidence was presented: the burnt jacket, the false robbery story, the suspicious timeline. Jackie was accused of giving false statements to the police, but her defense pushed back hard. Her lawyers insisted Jackie had nothing to do with Monica's death. There was no evidence placing her at the crime scene. At worst, she was guilty of bad judgment in love, not murder. Court hearings dragged for years, dates were postponed, judgment delayed. Kenya held its breath each time the ruling was pushed forward. And then in February 2024 came the verdict. Judge Grace Nzioka ruled. Jackie Maribe was acquitted of all murder charges. There was simply no evidence that she participated in killing. Joey, however, was found guilty. Outside court, Jackie quoted the Bible, "The truth shall set you free." But was she truly free? The law had spoken. The public, however, was still divided. After her acquittal, Jackie tried to rebuild her life. She was finally allowed to return to her Royal Park Estate home, though her car and phone remained exhibits in the case. She took up roles in government communications, appearing alongside CS Moses Kuria in 2024. This move sparked controversy. Was she being rewarded or simply working like anyone else? She hinted at politics, even rumors of running for office. Her social media showed glimpses of a quieter life, sometimes with Zahari, sometimes with friends. But one thing was clear: Jackie Maribe could never again be just a journalist. The tag of murder suspect will always linger, even after acquittal. Public opinion remains deeply split. For some, Jackie is an example of resilience, a woman who was dragged into a storm and survived. For others, she is a cautionary tale of bloodlines, how power, politics, and relationships can destroy even the biggest careers. Her story has become part of Kenya's cultural memory: the glamorous anchor, the shocking arrest, the courtroom drama, the acquittal, and the haunting question: what really happened that night Monica Kimani was killed? Only two people know the truth. One is in prison and the other is Jackie Maribe. In the end, Jackie's life is a paradox: a journalist who became the news, a victim and a survivor, a woman celebrated, then condemned, then acquitted. Her journey forces us to ask, how quickly can a society turn on its heroes? How do we separate truth from perception? And can one ever truly rebuild after scandal? For Jackie Maribe, the spotlight may never fully dim. Her story remains a reminder: in the world of fame and power, everything can change in a single night.
Now, police in Nairobi are investigating the murder of a businesswoman found dead at her rented apartment in Lumwera Gardens, Kilimani area this morning. The lady, identified as Monica Kimani, was chatting with her brother last night before she suddenly went silent. Worried of her whereabouts, the brother visited her house to ascertain her safety, only to find her body in a bathtub with the head chopped off. Her body has been taken to Chiromo Funeral Home.